Hey everyone, this is a clip from a recent episode of Another Pass, where we talk about movies and all the struggles that go into making them. If you like it, check out the whole podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts. So the hard part about talking about Planet of the Apes movies is that there are real-world examples that they're drawing on, but if you say it out loud, it feels a little racist to like make a comparison. It feels like a lot of like post-colonial Africa, a lot of the scramble to like take titles for political reasons, but like I really don't like making a comparison between like a black general and a gorilla.
No,
like that feels really uncomfortable.
So I've had that thought along with this series as well. Whenever I talk about it to people, and the thing that I landed on was these movies existed pre-intersectionality, and I don't think these movies understood that they were touching more than these like topical race class things. They didn't know that they were kind of going a little deeper into intersectionality about how all of this is connected to capitalist warlike systems. It was meant broader, and because we have more context now, it's I think a little harsh to apply our intersectionality to this, because they didn't understand that like kind of webbing of things. So yeah, it just gets really ugly to talk about as you like pull back different layers, as things could be connected and definitely are in like certain circumstances, but like we're dissecting art from the 70s, which we were not adults in, and so like understanding what they were going for. Yeah, it gets ugly to talk about. Yeah, it gets, because like, they hadn't pulled everything apart yet. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was sensitivity to it. You know, like, in the first Planet of the Apes, apparently there was a whole issue where they didn't want to hire any black stuntmen for any of the ape roles because they didn't want to get in trouble on that side of things. So, like, there was sensitivity, and I think that there was thought put into it, but, like, just the language has evolved so much.
Yeah, and the way that we describe things. I think also, I think you're probably right. Like, he probably didn't deserve it, but I think that when I saw it as this, I actually didn't think the teacher was that great of a teacher.
Also
I
true.
felt like he was belittling him a little too much.
Also true.
And like I was just like, bro, like you didn't have to mock him in front of the class. Like, oh, that's a good effort, General. Good job. Yeah.
Right.
We need to work on this part of your A, but wow, you're coming a long way. Like a little reassurance. And I get it. It was the 70s, so teachers were more assholes. I asked my mom. She went to the school in the 70s. She'll back me up on that. But Mama Alexia, Mom, call in to the show. So anyway, but I think that at the end of the day, like, you know, he felt like he fought.
Yeah.
He felt like he fought for their freedom, and he felt like he deserved it. And I feel like, did he end up being a traitorous, murderous, ridiculous person who was frustrated with the fact that he wasn't good at reading and writing and all the peace stuff? Yeah. Maybe if the teacher wasn't such a dick, he would have found. For me, okay, this is my problem, guys. I have a learning disability, and I tend to hate teachers that are really mean to students in movies. So this made me actually really like, as someone with dyslexia and a couple other things, it made me kind of see something in General Aldo, which is scary. I know
you got endeared to him. No, I
did, because I was just like, there's no reason to embarrass him. And some people are just not good at certain learning methods. And if you, as the teacher, can only teach one way, maybe that's on you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's on you.
Maybe he didn't get a long enough dose of the virus to like, you know?
Yeah. That's the other thing.
See, your headcanon's helping out just all along the way here.
Oh yeah, the actual exposure. For everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, how old is Aldo supposed to be?
Right.
Like this is still only like 15 years after Conquest, and like Aldo appears to be a fully grown adult, but he's also going to class. And I guess everyone is kind of. I guess the question across the board is how old are any of them? Like, how smart are any of them supposed to be? Like, why are they talking about physics but also struggling to read?
Right.
Like that. Yeah, that's sort of the issue of this movie in general.
General Aldo does seem a little bit older. I'm just going to use his preferred title and name because that's what he's asked for. That's respectful in 2022. True, yes. So General Aldo, he like definitely feels and seems older than a lot of the gorillas.
Yeah.
Like he even feels like a little older than Caesar. So I'm wondering if even age, like if we're going with Case's headcanon, if age has something to do with how that could affect them or develop into the skills that are needed. He's like, why are we learning to do this? I should be riding horses. And it's like, well, I get it, bro. That sounds like a lot more fun than riding ape does not kill ape over and over again.
No, yeah, like what if they're the more like established the ape brain was before it got the virus, the more plastic a younger brain would maybe be able to utilize the virus and grow the brain more than like a hard set, because like a 15-year-old gorilla would be a teenager to us, but he'd have a full adult
for
so then you give him the virus and it's like, okay, you made him like as smart as a human child, but he still has the mental facilities of an adult at that point. So he's struggling with like adult thoughts and kid processing, and as someone in therapy, I understand that. Am I becoming endeared to General Aldo now?
You're welcome.
I think there's interesting comparisons to make in this movie in a way that like we honestly don't even get enough of in like the Matt Reeves Planet of the Apes movies, where we actually are starting to see the striations of classes based around like sort of gravitating towards types of interest. Like it's represented in the Matt Reeves stuff by like the gorillas are like the guards because they're the biggest ones, but like the idea of all these gorillas enjoying riding horses, and like that's a callback to the original because it's the gorillas rounding up the humans in that first scene, but like it also maps pretty well to like the rise of like a cavalier class or like like a knightly order kind of thing. It maps really well to like post Western Roman Europe with like when we're talking about like the Franks or anything like that, where it's like, oh, we're creating like this, what often is the nobles, which are the horse riders, like the like I said, the cavalry, like that oftentimes is that specific subset, and because they have like military prominence, like take on more like a higher role in society, and that's them sort of struggling for that. Remember, if you like that clip, check out the podcast. You can find it at certainpov.com or wherever you get your podcasts.